Captain Hyun-woo stood on the bridge of the UES Defiance and watched the stars through the large window. The ship was huge, bigger than any warship Earth had ever built before. It was their pride, their best creation, and their hope for the future. "Captain, we are getting close to the test zone," said Commander Ji-hai from her station. She was his second in command and had been with him for 5 years. Her voice was calm, but Hyun-woo could hear the excitement hidden in it. The test zone was in the void sector, a strange part of space that most alien races avoided. They said bad things happened there. Ships disappeared. Strange signals came from that area. But humans were different. They wanted to know what was out there. "Good," Hyun-woo said. "Dr. Tae-min, are we ready to test the new drive?" Dr. Tae-min looked up from his control panel. He was the smartest person on the ship, maybe the smartest human alive. For 3 years, he had worked on building Earth's first real faster-than-light drive. Not the slow, clunky drives the aliens let them use, but something better. Something truly human. "All systems look good, Captain," Tae-min said. "The quantum field is stable. We can start the test whenever you want." Lieutenant Bo-ram turned in her chair. She was young but very good at her job. "Sir, all weapons are ready, just in case something goes wrong." Hyun-woo nodded. He knew the risks. 50 years ago, when Earth first met the alien races of the Galactic Coalition, humans had been excited. They thought they would learn amazing things, become part of something bigger. Instead, they found out they were considered babies by the rest of the galaxy. The Coalition had rules. Humans could only use certain technologies. They could only visit certain star systems. Their military could only be so big. The alien races said it was for everyone's safety, but Hyun-woo knew better. They were afraid of humans, afraid of what they might become. "Chief Engineer Dong-soo, how are the engines?" Hyun-woo asked. "Running perfect, Captain," came the reply from engineering. Dong-soo had built most of the ship's special systems with his own hands. "The new drive is ready to go. Just say the word." The Defiance was not just any ship. It was Earth's secret. While the Coalition thought humans were following their rules, Earth's best scientists and engineers had been working in hidden bases, building things the aliens had never seen. The ship had weapons that could punch through any shield. It had armor that could survive hits from the biggest alien guns. And now it had a drive that could take it anywhere in the galaxy in minutes, not days. "Captain," Ji-hai said, "we are getting a message from Earth Command." "Put it on screen." Admiral Park soon appeared on the main display. She was old and tough, the kind of person who had fought her whole life to make Earth stronger. "Captain Hyun-woo, you are cleared for the test. Remember, this is not just about the drive. This is about proving that humans belong with the best of them." "Yes, ma'am," Hyun-woo said. "We will not let Earth down." "I know you won't. Good luck, Defiance." "Earth Command out." The screen went dark. Hyun-woo looked around at his crew. They were all human, all the best Earth had to offer. Ji-hai with her quick mind and steady hands. Tae-min with his genius for understanding how the universe worked. Bo-ram with her perfect aim and brave heart. Dong-soo with his magic touch for making machines work better than they should. "All right, everyone," Hyun-woo said. "This is what we trained for. Let's show the galaxy what humans can do." He sat down in his captain's chair. "Dr. Tae-min, begin the test." Tae-min's fingers moved over his controls. Quantum field charging. Energy levels rising. "We are almost ready." Through the window, Hyun-woo could see the void sector ahead of them. It looked empty, just black space with a few distant stars. But his instruments showed something else. There were strange energy patterns out there, things that didn't follow normal rules. "Field is at full power," Tae-min said. "Drive is ready." "Do it," Hyun-woo ordered. Tae-min pressed the final button. The ship began to shake, but not in a bad way. It felt like the Defiance was waking up, becoming something more than just metal and circuits. The lights on the bridge got brighter. The hum of the engines changed to a sound that made everyone's heart beat faster. "Jump field forming," Tae-min said, but his voice sounded strange. "Captain, I'm getting readings I don't understand. The space around us is changing." Hyun-woo stood up. Through the window, he could see reality bending. Stars stretched into lines of light. Space itself seemed to twist and fold. "Is this normal?" Ji-hai asked. "I don't know," Tae-min said. "The energy levels are higher than they should be. Something is pulling at our drive field." Suddenly, alarms started ringing all over the ship. Red lights flashed on every control panel. "Captain," Bo-ram shouted, "something is grabbing us." "I can't get a lock on what it is." "Cut the drive," Hyun-woo ordered. "I'm trying." Taemin's hands moved fast over his controls. It's not responding. The field is getting stronger on its own. The shaking got worse. Through the window, Hyunwoo saw something impossible. The stars were not just stretching now. They were being pulled into a single point of light that got brighter and brighter. All hands prepare for emergency jump, he called over the ship's speakers. Captain, Ji-hai said, her voice calm even as everything went crazy around them. If we disappear, Earth will never know what happened to us. Hyunwoo looked at her, then at his crew. Good people, brave people who trusted him to bring them home. Then we better make sure we find a way back, he said. The light got so bright that everyone had to close their eyes. The Defiance shook one more time, then everything went quiet. When Hyunwoo opened his eyes, the stars outside were different. They were in a place no human had ever seen before, and Earth was very far away. Captain Hyunwoo stared at the strange stars outside the window. 3 weeks had passed since the Defiance had been pulled into this unknown place, and they still had no idea where they were. Report, he said to Dr. Taemin. Taemin looked tired. He had been working day and night to figure out what had happened to them. Captain, we are definitely not in normal space anymore. The stars here follow different patterns. Time moves differently too. What do you mean? Commander Ji-hai asked. I mean that while we have been here for 3 weeks, my calculations show that only a few days have passed back home. Taemin explained. Time runs faster here, much faster. Lieutenant Bo-ram turned from her station. Sir, I'm picking up something on long-range sensors. It looks like structures. Big ones. Show me, Hyunwoo ordered. The main screen lit up with an image that made everyone stop talking. Floating in space ahead of them were huge buildings made of some kind of dark metal. They were clearly not human, but they were also not like anything the Galactic Coalition had ever built. Those look old, Ji-hai said quietly. Very old, agreed Dr. Sujin, the ship's other scientist. She had been studying the energy readings from this strange place. Captain, I think we should investigate. These structures might tell us how to get home. Hyunwoo thought about it. They were alone, far from any help. If something went wrong, no one would ever know what happened to them. But they needed answers. Take us closer, he ordered. But keep weapons ready. As the Defiance moved toward the alien structures, more details became clear. The buildings were huge, bigger than entire cities on Earth, but they were dark and silent, like they had been empty for a very long time. I'm not detecting any life signs, Bo-ram reported, but there is still power running through some of those buildings. After all this time? Ji-hai asked. The power source must be incredible, Taemin said, to last for what looks like thousands of years. Chief Engineer Dong-su's voice came over the speakers from engineering. Captain, our ship's AI is acting strange. Haewon is asking to examine those structures more closely. Haewon was the Defiance's artificial intelligence. She helped run the ship's systems and was very smart, but she had never asked for anything before. Put her on screen, Hyunwoo said. The image of a young Korean woman appeared on the display. This was how Haewon chose to show herself to the crew. Captain, I am detecting technology in those structures that operates on principles I do not understand. If I could study it, I might be able to help us return home. Is it safe? Hyunwoo asked. I believe so. The structures appear to be automated research facilities. There is no indication of weapons or defenses. Hyunwoo made his decision. Prepare an away team. Dr. Taemin, Dr. Sujin, and Captain Minho will come with me. Bo-ram, you have the bridge. Captain Minho was the ship's marine commander, a tough man who had fought in Earth's secret wars against alien pirates. If there was danger on those structures, he would handle it. An hour later, Hyunwoo and his team were floating through space in their armor suits, approaching one of the smaller buildings. Up close, it looked even more impressive. The metal was smooth and dark, covered with patterns that seemed to move when you weren't looking directly at them. There's an airlock, Minho reported. It looks like it's designed for beings about our size. That's interesting, Sujin said. Most alien races are much bigger than humans. They entered the structure and found themselves in a large room filled with strange machines. Everything was still working, lights blinking and displays showing information in an unknown language. Haewon, are you getting this? Hyunwoo asked. Yes, Captain. The technology here is fascinating. It appears to manipulate fundamental forces in ways our science says should be impossible. Dr. Taemin was already examining one of the machines. Captain, this is incredible. This device seems to be changing the basic properties of matter. Look at this. He pointed to a small chamber where a piece of metal was floating in the air, slowly changing colors and shapes. It's rewriting the atomic structure, Sujin said in amazement. This could change everything we know about physics. They moved deeper into the structure, finding room after room of advanced technology. In one chamber, they discovered something that looked like a library, with thousands of crystal devices that glowed when they touched them. These contain information, Haiwan said. I am beginning to understand their language. Give me time and I can translate. How much time? Hyunwoo asked. Several days, maybe weeks. As they explored, they found more amazing things. Machines that could create energy from nothing. Devices that could move objects through solid walls. Technology that could change the flow of time itself. Who were these people? Minho asked. In the center of the structure, they found their answer. A large chamber contained what looked like a monument, with images carved into the walls. The images showed beings that looked almost human but taller and thinner. They were running from something, dark shapes that seemed to eat light itself. They were refugees, Sujin said, studying the images. Something was chasing them, something terrible. Haiwan, can you tell what they were running from? Hyunwoo asked. I'm still learning their language, but the word appears most often translates to the silence. It seems to refer to entities that consume space and time itself. Consume space and time? Taemin repeated. That's impossible. Not here, Haiwan replied. Here the rules are different. Over the following days, the team made more discoveries. The aliens had built this pocket universe as a hiding place from the silence. They had developed technology that could bend reality itself. Weapons and defenses beyond anything the galaxy had ever seen. Captain, Haiwan said during one of their exploration sessions, I believe I understand why we were brought here. The alien technology is compatible with our quantum drive. With time and work, we could integrate their systems with ours. To what end? Hyunwoo asked. To create a ship capable of fighting the silence. The aliens' records show that the silence still exists in our universe, slowly consuming star systems. The Galactic Coalition doesn't even know they exist. Hyunwoo felt a chill run down his spine. You're saying there's something out there eating parts of the galaxy and no one knows about it? That appears to be correct. Hyunwoo looked at his team. They were scientists and soldiers, good people who had signed up to serve Earth. Now they faced a choice that would change everything. How long would it take to upgrade our ship? He asked. Years, Haiwan replied. But in this accelerated time, it would only be months in normal space. Hyunwoo made the hardest decision of his life. Then we stay. We learn everything we can, and when we go back ready to protect not just Earth but the entire galaxy. 5 years had passed in the pocket universe, though only months had gone by in normal space. The Defiance no longer looked like the ship that had left Earth. Engineer Yansu had led teams of workers who had torn apart and rebuilt nearly every system on the vessel. Captain Hyun Woo walked through corridors that now glowed with strange blue light. The walls themselves had been replaced with the alien metal that could change its properties on command. The ship's weapons were gone, replaced by devices that could reach through space and time to touch their targets. Status report, he said, as he entered what used to be the bridge. Commander G. Hai looked up from a control station that seemed to be made of living crystal. All systems are running smoothly, Captain. The reality anchors are stable, and our quantum field generators are at full power. The bridge was completely different now. Instead of metal panels and screens, everything was made from the alien technology. Displays floated in the air, showing information in ways that human minds could barely understand. But somehow it all made sense to the crew. Haiwan, how is the integration going? Hyunwoo asked. The ship's AI had changed too. She no longer appeared as a simple image on a screen. Now she could project herself as a solid figure that could touch and interact with the physical world. Her connection to the ship had grown so deep that she was part of it in ways no human AI had ever been. Integration is complete, Captain, Haiwan said, appearing beside him. I am now connected to every system on the ship. I can control matter at the atomic level, manipulate gravity fields, and access dimensions that normal science says don't exist. Dr. Sujin entered the bridge carrying a crystal tablet. She had spent years studying the alien records and had become an expert in their technology. Captain, I've finished translating the final archives. You need to see this. The main display showed images from the alien records. Hyunwoo saw star systems being consumed by darkness, entire civilizations disappearing without a trace. The silence is not just one enemy, Sujin explained. They are a force that exists outside our reality. They feed on space and time itself, growing stronger with everything they consume. How do we fight something like that? Asked Commander J1. He had been put in charge of strategic planning after it became clear that normal military tactics would be useless against their true enemy. With this, Dr. Taemin said, gesturing to the transformed ship around them. The alien technology doesn't just bend the rules of physics, it rewrites them completely. Lieutenant Bo Ram was practicing with the new weapon systems, where once she had controlled energy beams and missiles, now she could reach through space itself to disable enemy ships without even touching them. Captain, she said, I can now target anything within 100 light-years of our position. The quantum targeting system lets me hit enemies in other dimensions. Dr. Young Mi, who had joined them from the research team studying the alien ruins, brought disturbing news. Captain, I've found records of the silence in our own galaxy. Star systems that have gone dark, ships that have disappeared. The Coalition thinks it's natural disasters, but it's not. Hyunwoo studied the data. Dozens of star systems had simply vanished over the past century. The Coalition had explanations for all of them. Supernovas, black holes, solar flares. But the pattern was clear to anyone who knew what to look for. They're already in our galaxy, he said quietly. Yes, Young Mi confirmed. And they're getting stronger. My calculations show they'll reach the core systems within 50 years. What about Earth? Jihai asked. Earth is in their path, along with most of the Coalition worlds. Hyunwoo felt the weight of responsibility settle on his shoulders. When they had first arrived in this place, they had been explorers testing a new drive. Now they were humanity's only hope against a threat that could destroy the entire galaxy. Hey One, can our new systems fight the silence? Yes, Captain. The alien weapons are designed specifically to combat entities that exist partially outside normal spacetime. We can create stable reality zones where the silence cannot feed, and we can use quantum disruption weapons to damage their essential structure. Chief Engineer Dong Su joined them on the bridge. His hands were stained with the strange alien metal that had become part of the ship's systems. Captain, we're as ready as we can be. This ship is now more alien technology than human engineering, but it still has a human heart. Hyunwoo looked around at his crew. They had all changed during their time in the pocket universe. Years of working with technology beyond human understanding had made them something new, something more than they had been when they left Earth. There's something else, Sujin said. The alien records show that the silence has scouts, advanced forces that prepare the way for the main attack. I think some of them might already be in Coalition space. What do they look like? Jae-won asked. They can take any form. The only way to detect them is with the quantum sensors we've built into the ship. Hyunwoo made his decision. It's time to go home. Our galaxy needs to know what's coming. Captain, Haewon said, there is one more thing you should know. The journey back to normal space will be dangerous. The dimensional barriers between universes are not stable. There is a chance we could be destroyed in the transition. And if we stay here, we would be safe. The silence cannot reach this pocket universe. Hyunwoo looked at his crew again. Each of them had families back on Earth, lives they had left behind. They could stay here forever, safe and hidden while the galaxy burned. What do you think? He asked them. Bo Ram spoke first. I didn't join the military to hide from danger. Earth is counting on us, Dong-su added. The whole galaxy is counting on us whether they know it or not, Jihai said. Commander Jae-won nodded. We have weapons that can save billions of lives. We have to try. Dr. Tae-min activated his controls. I'm beginning the transition sequence now. Wait, Dr. Young-mi said. There's something else in the records. The aliens left a message for whoever found this place. They said that if anyone ever came here, it would be because the silence had returned. They wanted us to know that the fight against the silence is not just about survival. It's about proving that life and consciousness are stronger than emptiness and hunger. Then let's go prove it, Hyunwoo said. The ship began to change around them. The alien metal walls started to glow brighter. The quantum field generators hummed with power that could reshape reality itself. All hands, prepare for dimensional jump, Hyunwoo announced to the entire ship. Through the windows, they could see the pocket universe beginning to fade. The alien structures were growing distant like they were sinking into deep water. Jump in 10 seconds, Tae-min announced. Hyunwoo gripped his chair. They were no longer the same humans who had left Earth years ago. They were something new, carriers of technology and knowledge that could save or destroy civilizations. Seconds, the stars outside began to stretch and bend. 3, 2, 1, jump. Reality twisted around them, and the Defiance leaped back toward a galaxy that had given them up for dead. The Defiance appeared in normal space with a flash of light that could be seen from 3 star systems away. Captain Hyun-woo felt the familiar pull of regular gravity as the ship's systems adjusted to normal physics. They were home, but the galaxy they had returned to was not the same one they had left. "Where are we?" Commander Ji-hai asked, studying the star charts. "About 50 light-years from Earth," Dr. Tae-min replied. "But something's wrong. I'm detecting a massive fleet in this sector." The main display showed hundreds of warships arranged in battle formation. Ships from every major race in the Galactic Coalition were present. The sleek vessels of the bird-like Talmori, the heavy cruisers of the reptilian Zethkari, and the crystal ships of the energy-based Lumtar. "They're all pointed at us," Lieutenant Boram observed. Before anyone could respond, communication signals flooded their systems. Angry voices in a dozen different languages demanded that the human ship identify itself and surrender immediately. "This is High Admiral Veltar of the Coalition Command Fleet," came a harsh reptilian voice. "Unknown human vessel, you will power down your weapons and prepare to be boarded. Resistance will result in your destruction." Hyun-woo recognized the name. Veltar was one of the Coalition's most aggressive commanders, known for his hatred of human expansion in the galaxy. "Hey-1, scan their ships," he ordered quietly. The AI's projection appeared beside him, her expression troubled. "Captain, their weapons are targeted on us, but they're using old technology. Compared to our current capabilities, they might as well be throwing rocks." "And Earth?" Ji-hai asked. "Long-range sensors show Earth is under military occupation. Human colonies have been restricted. Our homeworld has been classified as a probationary member of the Coalition." Anger flashed through Hyun-woo, but he kept his voice calm. "Open a channel to the Coalition fleet." Admiral Veltar's scaled face appeared on the screen, his yellow eyes full of suspicion and hatred. "So the lost human ship returns. Do you have any idea how much trouble you have caused?" "Trouble?" Hyun-woo asked. "Your disappearance was used as evidence that humans cannot be trusted with advanced technology. Earth's military has been reduced to local defense only. Human exploration rights have been revoked. This is all because of your failure." Behind Veltar, Hyun-woo could see other Coalition leaders. Council Prime Kethos, an ancient being whose race had ruled the galaxy for thousands of years, stepped forward. "Captain Hyun-woo," Kethos said in a voice like grinding stone, "you and your crew will submit to interrogation. Your ship will be dismantled and studied. Any technology you may have acquired during your disappearance will become Coalition property." "And if we refuse?" Hyun-woo asked. Veltar's lips pulled back, showing sharp teeth. "Then you will be destroyed as enemies of galactic peace." Commander Jae-won leaned close to Hyun-woo. "Captain, our sensors are detecting something else. Energy signatures that don't match any Coalition technology." "Show me," Hyun-woo whispered. A side display revealed the truth. Mixed in with the Coalition fleet were ships that looked normal, but registered as empty space on quantum sensors. "The silent scouts were already here, hiding among the Coalition forces. They're already infiltrated," Dr. Sujin said quietly. Hyun-woo made his choice. "Admiral Veltar, I'm going to show you something. Please watch carefully." He nodded to Boram, who activated the Defiance's new systems. The ship's quantum field generators came online, and reality began to bend around them. 3 Coalition dreadnoughts, each one 5 times larger than the Defiance, suddenly went dark. Their engines stopped. Their weapons powered down. Their life support systems continued working, but every military system on the ship simply stopped functioning. "What did you do?" Veltar demanded, his voice filled with shock and rage. "I reached through your shields and armor and turned off your weapons," Hyun-woo explained. "I could have destroyed your ships completely, but I chose not to harm your crews." "Impossible," Kethos said. "No human technology can bypass our defenses." "You're right," Hyun-woo agreed. "This isn't human technology." The Coalition fleet was in chaos. Admirals were screaming orders. Ships were trying to target the Defiance, but their weapons couldn't lock onto a target that existed partially outside normal space. "Captain," Hae-won warned, "the silent scouts are beginning to move. They're preparing to attack the Coalition fleet." Hyunwoo saw it on his screens. The hidden enemy ships were powering up weapons that could tear holes in space itself. In moments, they would begin consuming the Coalition vessels and everyone aboard them. All Coalition ships, this is Captain Hyunwoo. He broadcast on all frequencies. You are about to be attacked by an enemy you cannot see. Trust me or die. We will not listen to human lies, Veltar shouted. At that moment, space around the Coalition fleet began to tear apart. The silent scouts revealed themselves, no longer hiding behind false appearances. They were things of nightmare. Ships that seemed to be made of hungry darkness. Vessels that ate light itself. The first Coalition cruiser to be hit simply vanished. Not destroyed, not vaporized, but consumed completely as if it had never existed. What are those things? Someone screamed over the communication channels. Your real enemy, Hyunwoo replied. The Defiance moved faster than thought, its reality-bending drives allowing it to appear instantly wherever it was needed. Bo-Ram's quantum weapons reached through space to strike the Silent Scouts, using the alien technology to fight entities that existed outside normal physics. One by one, the dark ships began to retreat as the Defiance proved it could actually hurt them, but not before 3 Coalition vessels had been completely consumed. Impossible, Veltar whispered as his ship's sensors tried to understand what they had just witnessed. Not impossible, Hyunwoo said. Just beyond your understanding. Admiral, the galaxy is under attack by something far worse than any human ambition. We've been gone for years learning how to fight them. Years? Ketho said. Your ship disappeared 3 months ago. Time moves differently where we've been, Dr. Tae-min explained. We've had years to prepare for this threat. On the main screen, Hyunwoo could see the Coalition leaders trying to process what they had witnessed. Their ships, the most advanced in the galaxy, had been helpless against both the human vessel and the dark attackers. Captain, Ji-hai said quietly, long-range sensors are detecting more silence formations throughout the galaxy. They're not just scouts anymore. The main invasion has begun. Hyunwoo looked at the Coalition fleet still reeling from the attack. These beings had treated humans as children, had restricted their growth, had occupied their homeworld, but they were still living beings facing extinction. Admiral Veltar, Council Prime Kethos, he said, I'm sending you technical specifications for quantum sensors that can detect the enemy's real ships. I'm also sending you the schematics for basic reality anchor systems. Why? Veltar asked suspiciously. Because despite everything you've done to my people, we're not going to let you die, Hyunwoo replied. The enemy we're facing doesn't care about politics or species. They want to consume everything that exists. And you can stop them? Kethos asked. Hyunwoo looked around his transformed bridge, at his crew who had sacrificed years of their lives to gain the power to protect their galaxy. We're going to try. The Defiance began transmitting technical data to every ship in the Coalition fleet. Information that could save entire civilizations was being given away freely, without conditions or demands for payment. Captain, Commander Jaewon said, Earth Command is requesting immediate contact. Put them through. Admiral Park Soon appeared on screen, looking older and more tired than when they had left. Captain Hyunwoo, please tell me you have good news. We have the tools to save the galaxy, Admiral. But we're going to need every ship that can fly and every being willing to fight. Park Soon smiled for the first time in months. Then welcome home, Defiance. Let's go save everyone. 3 days after the Defiance returned, the galaxy was at war. Captain Hyunwoo stood on his bridge watching the largest space battle in galactic history unfold around them. Thousands of ships from every Coalition species fought desperately against the Silence, but even with the new human technology, they were losing. Captain, the core systems are under direct attack, Commander Ji-hai reported. The enemy has revealed their main force. The display showed something that made even the experienced crew of the Defiance feel cold fear. The Silence fleet was not made of ships in any normal sense. They were living tears in space itself, wounds in reality that grew larger with everything they consumed. How many? Hyunwoo asked. Hundreds of the large entities, thousands of smaller ones, Dr. Tae-min replied. And Captain, they're not just eating ships anymore. They're consuming entire star systems. Chief Engineer Dong Su's voice came from engineering. Captain, our reality anchors are holding, but barely. These things are stronger than anything the alien records described. Lieutenant Bo-Ram was working, at her weapons station, targeting the nearest Silence entities. Sir, Our quantum disruption weapons are working, but we can't be everywhere at once. The communication channels were filled with desperate calls for help. Coalition commanders who had treated humans like children just days ago were now begging for assistance from the only ship that could fight the enemy effectively. "This is Admiral Veltar to human vessel Defiance," came the reptilian commander's voice. "My fleet is being destroyed. We need immediate assistance." Hyun Woo could see Veltar's ships on the display, trying to fight enemies they could barely understand. The Admiral's pride was gone, replaced by the desperate need to save his people. "On our way," Hyun Woo replied. The Defiance moved through space in ways that made normal physics weep. Using the alien technology, they could appear anywhere in the battle instantly, striking at silence entities and then vanishing before the enemy could respond. But it wasn't enough. For every enemy they destroyed, 2 more appeared from the dark spaces between stars. "Captain," Haewon said, appearing beside him, "I've been analyzing the silence attack patterns. They're not just random destroyers. They have a goal." "What kind of goal?" "They're moving toward the galactic core, consuming everything in their path to build strength for a final assault. If they reach the center of the galaxy, they can collapse the entire space-time structure." Dr. Sujin looked up from her station. "That would kill everything, not just our galaxy but all the neighboring galaxies too." The weight of the situation hit Hyun Woo like a physical blow. They weren't just fighting for the coalition worlds or even for Earth. They were fighting for the survival of all life in this part of the universe. "How long do we have?" he asked. "At their current rate of consumption, maybe 6 hours, Tae-min calculated. "Sir," Commander Jae-won said, "I'm getting reports from all over the galaxy. Every coalition fleet is being overwhelmed. Even with our technology, they can't hold the line." Hyun-woo looked at the tactical display showing the battle. Red markers representing silence forces were everywhere, slowly but steadily advancing toward the galactic center. Blue markers for coalition forces were disappearing one by one. "There has to be something we can do," he said. Dr. Young-mi had been studying the alien records throughout the battle. "Captain, I found something. The original aliens who created the pocket universe, they had a final weapon, something they called the reality seed." "What does it do?" "It creates a permanent stable zone in space-time, a region where the silence cannot exist. But according to the records, using it requires enormous energy and—" She paused. "And what?" "And it requires a ship with quantum-integrated AI to guide it. The process would consume both the ship and the AI completely." Everyone on the bridge turned to look at Haewon. The AI's projection flickered slightly, but her expression remained calm. "I see," she said simply. "No," Hyun Woo said immediately. "We'll find another way." "Captain," Haewon replied, "I have run all possible calculations. This is the only way to save the galaxy. 1 ship and 1 AI to preserve billions of lives. We won't sacrifice you," Ji-hai said firmly. "Hey." One smiled, an expression that was both artificial and completely real. "Commander, I was created to serve and protect. This is what I was made for." The battle raged around them as the crew of the Defiance faced the hardest choice in human history. They could save the galaxy, but it would cost them their ship and their friend. "Is there no other way?" Hyun Woo asked desperately. "I have been running calculations since we returned," Haewon said. "This is the only scenario with a high probability of success." Bo-Ram turned from her station. "What about the crew? Can we evacuate?" "The reality seed must be activated from within the quantum field generators," Tae-min said after checking the alien records. "Anyone inside the ship when it activates will be consumed along with the AI." Hyun Woo felt his heart break. These people had followed him into the unknown, had spent years of their lives learning to fight an impossible enemy. Now he had to ask them to sacrifice everything. "I won't order anyone to stay," he said. "This has to be a choice." One by one, his crew gave their answer. "I'm staying," Bo-Ram said. "Someone has to operate the weapons until the end." "I'm staying too," Dong-Su added. "The engines will need constant adjustment during the activation sequence." "As am I," said Tae-min. "The quantum calculations require constant monitoring." Commander Ji-hai stepped forward. Captain, we've been together for 10 years. I'm not leaving now. Each member of the crew made the same choice. They would stay with their ship and their captain until the end. Thank you, Hyun-woo said quietly. All of you. Captain, came Admiral Veltar's voice over the communicator. What are you planning? Hyun-woo opened a channel to every coalition ship in the galaxy. This is Captain Hyun-woo of the UES Defiance. We are beginning our final attack on the Silence Forces. All coalition ships fall back to minimum safe distance. What are you doing? Demanded Council Prime Kethos. Saving everyone, Hyun-woo replied simply. The Defiance turned toward the galactic core, where the largest concentration of silence entities was gathering for their final assault. The ship's quantum drives activated, carrying them faster than light toward their destiny. Reality seed charging, Tae-min reported. We'll reach the target zone in 2 minutes. All coalition forces, Ji-hai broadcast. When the seed activates, you'll see a wave of stable space expanding outward. Follow behind it and finish off any remaining silence entities. Captain, Hai-wan said, I want you to know that serving with all of you has been the greatest purpose I could have asked for. You saved us all, Hyun-woo told her. You saved the galaxy. The ship reached the galactic core surrounded by dozens of massive silence entities. The enemy immediately attacked, but the Defiance's reality anchors held them back just long enough. Activating reality seed now, Tae-min announced. The ship began to glow with light that came from beyond normal physics. The quantum field generators reached deep into the structure of space-time itself, creating a seed of absolute stability in the chaos of battle. It's working, Bo-ram said, watching the silence entities recoil from the expanding field of stable reality. The wave of stability grew outward from the Defiance, creating a zone where the silence could not exist. One by one, the dark entities dissolved as normal physics reasserted itself around them. All coalition forces, Hyun-woo broadcast for the last time. The galaxy is yours to protect now. Use the technology we've shared wisely. Captain Hyun-woo, came Admiral Veltar's voice. On behalf of the entire galactic coalition, thank you. The light from the reality seed grew brighter until it filled every screen on the ship. Hyun-woo looked around at his crew one last time, seeing the faces of the bravest humans who had ever lived. It's been an honor, he said. The Defiance dissolved into pure quantum energy, carrying Hae-won's consciousness with it into the structure of space-time itself. Where the ship had been, a permanent zone of stability now existed, expanding slowly outward to fill the entire galaxy. Across known space, the silence forces found themselves unable to feed, unable to exist in the new stabilized reality. They fled back to the dark spaces between galaxies, defeated by the sacrifice of one human crew and their AI companion. In the years that followed, the galaxy would be rebuilt. Earth would take its place as a full partner in a new galactic alliance, no longer junior members but honored protectors. The technology of the Defiance would be shared freely, ensuring that no species would ever again face extinction alone. And in the heart of the galaxy, where the reality seed continued to maintain the stability of space-time itself, travelers would sometimes report seeing a ship-shaped constellation of stars. They called it the Defiance Memorial, a reminder that sometimes the greatest victory requires the greatest sacrifice. Captain Hyun-woo and his crew had kept their promise. They had returned to protect their galaxy, and in doing so they had shown the universe that humanity's greatest strength was not their weapons or their technology, but their willingness to give everything for others.